time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Monday. I hope that you had a lovely weekend. Thank you for joining us, and I am glad that we're here together. Thank you for joining in. And the wonderful book that we have, yes, we're bringing back a special one, a good one indeed, and I hope that you enjoy it today. Thank you for being here, and the wonderful lineup that we have this week. Please do look out for that and see what's coming. But for today, we're reading The Stuff of Stars. Yes, this one by MARION, DANE, BAUER, and illustrations by the award-winning EKUA HOLMES. I hope that you're ready for this one. It is indeed a good one. The Stuff of Stars. I love it, and I'm glad that we're sharing it again here. And a big thank you, of course, to CANDLEWICK Press for allowing us to share it right here on Storytime. Welcome to Storytime. Please let me know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you today. Thank you for being here. Out here in Oakland, a little bit cold and foggy, but hopefully the temperature picks up a little bit later. But loving it anyway. A great day for a jacket. Thank you so much for joining in. How is it where you are? Thank you for joining in. Let us see who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy a beautiful story. How are you doing today, Chrissy? And of course, Borden. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Welcome out in Vermont, rainy Vermont, you say. Oh my goodness, please do stay dry. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Perfect weather sounds like for a good story. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you. Good morning to you, Sarah and Nathan. Oh yes, indeed. And to you, Amanda. How are you doing today? And you're saying it is brisk out there, brisk Illinois today. Well, thank you so much for joining in. Please do have your jackets ready for when you need to go outside, and of course do stay warm. Thank you so much for joining in today. Yes, indeed, cold weather seems to be going around right now. Thank you so much for joining in, Sarah and Nathan, and of course Amanda West. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to you out in Orange County. How are you doing today? Jemison, Alicia, and Lindley. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, April, how are you doing today? Thank you for being here. And I hope that you're ready for this wonderful story, The Stuff of Stars, a beautiful poem indeed that awaits us today. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you, and I hope all is well. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you, Chriselle. How are you doing out in Long Beach? Thank you so much for joining in. Clay, Rocco, good morning to you. Welcome to Storytime. Say, waiting for the sun to come through the clouds. Well, me too on this side. Thank you so much for sharing that. Absolutely love it. I hope that you're already where you are. It sounds like perfect story time weather for everybody today. Miss Ingrid, how are you doing out in Patagonia? Thank you so much for joining in. Oh, absolutely love it. 2 days, the end of the year with the kids, and finally there's no wind. Oh, yes, I am happy for you. We still have a few more days before winter break, but enjoying it nonetheless. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope that you enjoy your break, Miss Ingrid. Well deserved. And I hope that when you're back re-energized. Thank you so much for joining in. And we'll be getting started with our story for today. Thank you so much for joining in, everybody. Get comfortable, get cozy, and we'll be right back after this message. I will be right back.
Hey, this is Timothy Goodspeed of the Soapbox Salute. I'm the one who wrote Storytime's theme song. If you'd like to hear more of my protest folk music, you can check out the links below on Instagram or at my website. You are watching Storytime with Mr. Lamada.
Thank you, Timothy. Thank you so much. Yes, and congratulations on your new baby. Yes, my good friend Timothy and his wife Laura have the baby. Can't wait to meet him properly. Well, here we go. Candlewick Press bring us this one today, The Stuff of Stars. And apologies for that, because this one is a little shiny on the cover. So the pages inside will be better, I promise. But great artwork indeed. This one by MARION, DANE, BAUER, and illustrations by EKUA HOLMES. Here we go. Just an image that gets you lost in there. The Stuff of Stars. MARION, DANE, BAUER, and illustrations by EKUA HOLMES, and of course read with permission of Candlewick Press. Wow. In the dark, in the dark, in the deep, deep dark, a speck floated, invisible as thought, weighty as God. There was yet no time. There was yet no space. No up, no down, no edge, no center. In the beginning. No earth with soaring hawks, scuttling beetles, trees reaching for the sky. There was no sky, no you, no me. Only the speck, waiting, waiting. You see the little speck? And then the beginning of all beginnings went bang. Look at that. And in a trillionth of a second, our universe was born. A cloud of gas unfolded, unfurled, zigged, zagged, stretched, collided, expanded, expanded, and expanded some more. Bits bumped, gathered, and fused. And throughout the cosmos, stars caught fire. Trillions of stars, but still no planets to attend to those stars. And if no planets, then no oceans, no mountains, no hippopotami, no violets blooming in a shady wood, no crickets singing to the night, no day, no night. The stars burned and burned. They burned so long and so hard that some of them exploded, flinging stardust everywhere. Whoa. How hot were they burning to explode like that? And the ash of those dying stars gathered into planets, and the planets circled other stars. But still, no bluebirds, no butterflies, still no snails, no giraffes, still no you, no me. But then when did we come to exist then? The planets closest to their star stayed very hot. The ones far away grew very cold. The planets closest to their star stayed very hot. The ones far away grew very cold. What is our star? But one lucky planet, a fragile blue ball we call Earth, was neither too far nor too near. It circled its yellow star, the one we call the sun, from just the right distance and with just the right tilt to be sometimes warm, sometimes cool. Like right now, right? It is very cool. Well, for this part of the world. Perfect for turning the starry stuff into mitochondria, jellyfish, spiders, into ferns and sharks, into daisies and galloping horses. Again and again, stardust gave birth to stardust. Perfect for turning the starry stuff into mitochondria, jellyfish, spiders, into ferns, and sharks, into daisies and galloping horses. Again and again, stardust gave birth to stardust. Dinosaurs lived and died, making room for humans. Our great-great-great-grandparents and all before them lived and died, making room for more and more children. Then one day, in the dark, in the deep, deep dark, another speck floated, invisible as dreams, special as love. Waiting, waiting, dividing, changing, growing, until at last you burst into the world. Yes, special you burst into the world. You took a big breath of the same air once breathed by woolly mammoths. You cried tears that were once salty seas. Your hair once the carbon in a leaf. How beautiful that interconnection, right? You and the velvet moss, the caterpillars, the lions, you and the singing whales, the larks, the frogs. Oh, you and me loving you, all of us, the stuff of stars. Oh, the end. A special book indeed. Absolutely appreciate this one. I love this book so much. Thank you for joining in. I hope that you enjoyed it. The Stuff of Stars. Yes, it is a good one. This one by MARION, DANE, BAUER, and illustrations by EKUA Holmes. And of course, we were reading it with permission of CANDLEWICK Press. A big, big thank you to them for allowing us to share it here on Storytime. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, indeed. Talking about the beginnings of the earth, and this earth that we love so much. How are we going to take care of it? What are we going to do? Please join in tomorrow and find out from this one, My Friend Earth. Yes, this one by Patricia McLachlan and illustrations by Francesca Sana. So do join me again tomorrow for another exciting story. And this time we'll be reading My Friend Earth. Yes, indeed, our friend Earth. What can we do to make sure that we help take care of this planet, to make sure that we mitigate, things like climate change, and we make sure that all the other animals that share this world with us can enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope that you enjoyed this wonderful story that we had today. I'm already talking about tomorrow's story, but the stuff of stars. Yes, you're stuff of stars. You're special. You are indeed wonderful. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and I hope that you enjoyed this lovely, lovely, melodious book that we have for you today. Thank you for joining in, and I hope that you'll be back again tomorrow for more story time. Absolutely love the time that we spend together and appreciate you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day indeed, a beautiful day. Yes, there may be bumps in the road, but you know what? We pick ourselves up and we move right on. Thank you so much for joining in story time today. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. Let us see who was with us one more time, and we can say hello and goodbye. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, indeed, Chrissy, a beautiful story. I absolutely agree with you, and I am glad that you enjoyed that one. Bowden, I hope you enjoyed it too, buddy. Thank you so much for joining in. The wonderful illustrations in there, I love them so much. Thank you so much for joining in story time today. Miss Ingrid, thank you for joining us out in Patagonia one more time. I hope that you are well. Please do stay well. And yes, indeed, I hope you enjoy your break that is coming up in 2 days' time. Thank you so much for joining in. Clay, Rocco, and Chriselle, have a wonderful day today. Thank you for joining in. Happy Monday indeed. Alicia, Jemison, and Lindley, and of course, April Booker. Thank you so much for joining in story time today. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday out in Orange County. Thank you so much for joining in today. Good morning to you one more time, Sarah and Nathan and Amanda West. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that you enjoyed that wonderful story that we had for you today out in Brisk, Illinois. Thank you so much for joining in. I absolutely appreciate you and everyone else there. Thank you so much for joining in. Amanda, Sarah, and Nathan. Chrissy and Bowden, one more time. Thank you so much for joining in out in rainy Vermont. Please do stay dry, do stay warm. Sending you hugs, and lots of hugs. Thank you so much for joining in. I will see you again tomorrow for more story time. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed this one that we had for you today. The stuff of stars. Yes, MARION, DANE, BAUER, and EKUA HOLMES, of course, brought to you by CANDLEWICK Press. And tomorrow we're back. Chronicle Books bring us My Friend Earth. Do join in for this beautiful book, beautiful message it contains, and of course we enjoy together and learn together. Thank you so much for joining in story time. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. I wish you a wonderful week ahead, and of course to begin with, a wonderful Monday today. Thank you for joining in story time. Much love from me. I will see you again tomorrow when we are back with more story time. Thank you. Go out there, make a difference. This week, I want to challenge you. Make sure that you do something that helps the earth, something that helps our neighbors, especially the non-human neighbors, our animals out there, the polar bears, everything. Help the environment, help the earth take care of us. Thank you so much for joining in story time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Much love. Bye-bye.
It brings to life your favorite stories with his great big smile. You won't live lonely, you won't just start on the reading. We just can't wait to be hearing. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some with people who look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some with people who look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be